committed to that extreme level. Okay. As I'm looking at this vision, God continues to show more and show more and show more. And so here's where this long vision just started. It started from this verse and it's going to continue for a while. So just stick with me. Once again, if I speak ahead, you guys want me to repeat something, let me know because I'm going to go for it. So like I said, I saw this army ready for instructions and orders. I said they are all looking forward, standing at attention, waiting, looking at this false god they were ready to serve. I saw what they were serving was a cement statue, lifeless, empty. Once again, I've seen this statue before. It looks like a gargoyle. Looks like just a stone demon bat thing. And so I saw that. And I understood that this servitude that they were giving wasn't passed down from generations to serve. This wasn't given to them from their fathers. This was something that they took up. They took it up when it wasn't even there. And now they were this committed, this obedient, this headstrong about it. I said, they were something not passed down from generation. I said, the scene changed to where this army now, I'm looking at one man. The army was there, and now the scene changed to I'm looking at a man. Looked like a regular, casual, ordinary guy. As I'm looking at him, he has nothing in his hands. Nothing. He's just standing there. And then what I see is a lump of a rock. And when I say a lump of a rock, it wasn't a smoothed out rock. It wasn't a stone. It was like one of them rocks you find on the ground in your backyard or on the side of the grass somewhere. Just tossed and left. Nothing to do with, no purpose in it. I see this lump of rock, bland and bumpy, I said. And I see this lump of rock given to this ordinary man. I see the man who just now took up this rock in his hand. And he holds it and he keeps it. I hear God, as he holds and he keeps it, he is holding on to death. That's what Jesus said. He is holding on to death. I then go into first person of this man. I'm now looking through him. I go into first person of this man, and I can see and sense the lifelessness in himself. It was in him, and absolutely nothing from what he was holding in his hand gave him anything. I understood as I was looking through this man, he was dead. He was completely empty, void. It was like wasteless, like completely of no substance, purpose, or value. It was stripped. It was gone. The scene changes. I then see him drop the rock. I then see the man drop the rock, and the man is gone now. And now the rock only remains. So with this being said, I'm actually getting revelation of this now. That man holding that rock, dropping it, and then the man disappeared, is saying that the man gained nothing from that life. His life was nothing. It was worthless. His life did not mean what it could have meant. But that rock still remained. It still remained. That false idol, serving other gods, still remained beyond his lifetime. All right. Now, as this rock is sitting there in the grass, I continue to watch. This rock sitting in the grass, and all of a sudden, this small rock that's in your hand grew. It expanded, and it grew in size to about maybe 5 to 6 feet tall. It was huge. And it just seemed to keep growing even larger and larger and larger. This rock was now a huge boulder. a huge, lumpy, big boulder. Okay. And I saw it grow in super speed. And I understood God was showing me through time, this false idol has increased over a long period of time. As I was watching this vision, I heard the Lord say to me, "This has grown, but it will surely crumble." I then see this boulder that was a rock in today's modern city. It was like this rock went through time. Where the man had held it, it was grass. It was kind of maybe back in ancient times. But now it was like time had fast forwarded to where this big, huge boulder is now in a modern city. There's buildings, there's streets, just like today. Same modern time, same modern scenario, same type of setting. And I see this same boulder in today's modern city. And in the midst of this busy city, I see this boulder, and it's like so much is going on. So much life is passing by. Cars are going by. People are going by. Buildings, noise. It's a robust city in that nature of it, right? I then see the scene changes to where there's nothing around this rock. It was just in the midst of the city. I see now caution tape around this rock as to not touch it. This boulder, this huge, gigantic boulder, had caution tape all around it, as into, don't touch this thing. We all know what it looks like, that orange tape, which is very symbolic. The scene changed to where that caution tape wasn't there. It was like it just disappeared. And then I see crowds of people, even babies. I saw crowds of people. I saw men, women, I saw children, and I saw babies crowding around this boulder. And everybody went and reached and grabbed at this boulder. And as they grabbed at this boulder, it seemed like as they went to grab and try to take a chunk out of this boulder that is rock that you could not do with your hands, obviously, they somehow a smaller rock ended up in their hands. A smaller rock ended up in their hands. Even the little baby's hand had the small rock in it. And that was very strange. But I continued to watch. I see the parents have caused the babies to do this. I knew this in the vision. The parents have caused the children and the babies to grab after this rock. I understood that this rock wasn't in somebody's home. This rock was out in the world. And I understood in this vision that you had to go out into the world to retrieve your rock, which is all symbolic, as we can see that very simply. I then see them taking it to their cars, these rocks, these lumpy rocks. I see them taking it to their cars, gazing at it, and setting it in their homes. I remember seeing specifically a woman, she went and grabbed for it, and she was just, her eyes were huge looking at this rock. When she got in her car, her eyes were huge looking at this rock. They were just gazing at it, completely just mystified over some lumpy, bland rock. To continue, then what happens is that I watch the stone in someone's home be set up on a countertop. That same rock was set up on a countertop in people's homes. It was set up on shelves. It was always set up on high. It wasn't just tossed on the floor. This rock was always set up above them. Okay. And I got to watch one specific home go through this, but I knew this was happening everywhere, right? So as I was watching this, When they set that rock in their home, I understood from God instantly that their home was now dead. I understood instantly that their home was dead. I understood their home was dead, even though the rock had done nothing yet. They simply set it up there and left it. The rock didn't move, nothing happened to it. They actually went away into their home, and instantly their home is dead. Just like that. Just like that. It's because their heart had already put service to it. See, your home dying isn't about what's in the home, it's what's in your heart. We are literal manifestors wherever we go. We manifest things no matter what we think or do. I don't care if you're sitting there doing nothing, you're manifesting something. And because these people's hearts were for that rock that did nothing, their home had died completely. Their home was empty of life. Empty. All right. And they were so oblivious. They were so oblivious to it. Now, to continue, the people were, like I said, the people were oblivious to this taking place. I said, I see them carry on with daily activities in their home. I then said, I am watching the rock on the shelf of someone's home. And I said, the shelf breaks. I said, the shelf breaks. Now, I got to stop right there because here we go with the mercy of God coming in. See, what God was showing me in this vision is that someone had set that rock up there. It was like above their fireplace. It was always above their head, wherever they set the rock up. And God showed me in his mercy, he caused this one shelf, he broke the right side of the shelf, it went pop, and the shelf came tipping down like at an angle like this. And so as it's coming down an angle like this, the rock slid down the shelf and hit the floor. The rock slid down and hit the floor. No one seemed to question, how did the shelf break? No one seemed to question, is this something I need to keep? No one questioned why or what happened with this stone. What happened next is I see the rock slide off to the floor. The scene changes, and this sounds really weird, but I'm going to keep on going. I am now looking through this rock. In this vision, I'm having first person through the rock, and I'm understanding the perspective. I can see the floor of this person's home. As I'm looking through this rock and getting the perspective, I'm watching and nothing's happening. But then all of a sudden, I notice me being in first person of this rock, I am being lifted up. I instantly felt it in the vision that I'm being lifted up now. And I said, okay. And I said, I then noticed I'm getting picked up by the man of the home and set back up on the shelf. I'm being put back on the shelf as this rock, the fallen idol, this false idol, I mean. And there was more understanding when I saw this part of the vision. The man of the home isn't the man of the home it needs to be. I'm sorry to step on some toes for the men out there. But if you don't have Christ and you're not being led by the Holy Spirit, you're not man of that house. You are not. You're not. You are not man of that home. I don't care what you bring into that home and what you do for it. If you are not being led by the Spirit of God, you're not the man of the home. You don't have that right because that's a God-given right. And for you to take that God-given right and say, I don't need God who gave it to lead me, is a backhand to the face of God. It's the truth. The man of the home needs to be led by God, period. Period. What better thing can you bring to the home than that? And so what I saw was, I saw this man picked me up, which was in first person the stone, and set me back on the shelf. And God was showing me the men of the home are allowing this thing to be set up on high. The men in the home are not allowing me in, but they will set up a false idol right back where it was. Okay? And this is where it gets really interesting. This is where it gets very, very interesting. And so what I saw next is after I'm set back up on the shelf, now I'm not first person in this rock anymore. And now I'm seeing this rock now releasing evil. See, this is the mercy and grace of God himself. That rock, that fallen idol, angel, whatever you want to call it, that false god, could have been manifesting so much evil. Could have been already. That demonic thing could have been loosening out so much evil in the home, but it was prevented. God prevented that evil from releasing because he had mercy on that people, on that family, on that man. But you see, it wasn't until it was set back up again where evil now came out. God had broke the shelf where that false idol stood. He broke it. And then the man of the home decided to set it back up there. Now, be careful for those who are the head of the household, men out there. I'm talking to you. That role is way more serious and more accountable than you think. That role as man of the house is insanely terrifying. If you really understand what that means to be the man of the house and who you are being led by, and if you choose not to be led by but still lead your family, it's terrifying. Because who's God going to look at? He has the whole rule book there. Who's he looking at? He's looking at you. You decided to set something I had decided to cut down. And you set it up anyway. That's terrifying. Out of his mercy and grace, God let nothing happen into this home. The home died because the people's desire for that false idol was there. So the home was dead. I bet if you guys can think about it, when you walk into some people's homes, you can feel something, right? Or you don't feel something. You should ask God about that and why. There's reasons for that. People don't understand that your home isn't just a stuff in it. It's a manifestation of you. And people don't understand that you dwelling in a habitation all day, releasing your heart desires and your thoughts into that habitation all day, is no more about the stuff in it. It's about you and what you're releasing in that home. It's way more deeper. It's way more deeper. This is why God says, I go to prepare a place for you. But you see, the place he prepares is full of his love. It's what the home is filled with is the key. Your home is filled with something. All right? It's different. We are always loosening something. You are always releasing something. Why does God say, shout praises? Why did Peter have church in his home? They didn't need a building. Come on now. Everything is right there. Okay? We're going to continue. So, after the man of the house decided to set this rock back up on the shelf, that after God took it down, I now see once again that now finally God is allowing the evil to manifest in this home. I'm seeing evil come out with music notes coming out from the left and right of this rock. This lumpy rock now that's sitting up there, not doing anything. Music notes are coming out of it. But I know it's very evil. It is diabolical what is coming out of this thing. Okay, it's very, very evil. It's deceptive. All that's coming out of this fallen idol. Then what I see now the daughter. See, with this family, there was a woman, there was a man, and there was a daughter. The daughter seemed to be um, either teenager or just maybe preteen, maybe 12, 13 or something like that. So the daughter in this family is instantly like that put in a trance. The daughter is instantly put in a lull. She's put in a trance. She's put in a oppression. It looked like she was half asleep. Looked like she was half asleep or sedated. That's the best word. As soon as the music started releasing, the daughter was taken out. In this trance, just gone. And in the same thing, the man who put the stone back up there was also in this trance, was also in this lull, was also in this sedation, this oppression. It was all this at once. You see, the enemy, I got to say it real quick. The enemy works in different angles all at once because he's not powerful. God works in one angle because he's all powerful. So the enemy has to shoot at you depression, oppression, lies, deceit, guilt, shame. He has to try to flood you in different angles because it has no power. So he has to make him seem like you are overtaken, like you've been in a trap, that you can't get out, that there's no escape. And this is exactly what this false idol, this rock, was doing through music. Music. This is why you have to guard your ears very strongly to the things you listen to as far as music, because music in its melody, tone, cadences, and then the actual words will put you in this sedation, even if it sounds good. Why do you think the rock, this false idol, chose music instead of a real truth about itself? Because it's alluring. It's alluring. All right? Now, what God was revealing to me to go on is that now that the daughter and the man in the house, they look drunken. They look half asleep. They all of a sudden they're moseying to they're in the living room where the rock is, and they're kind of like swaying back and forth, and then they collapse on the couch, sleep. They collapse on the couch, completely asleep now. And then what I see is God was revealing to me that in the living room, they fell asleep. In the living room, they had emptiness. They had no life. They were now, quote unquote, dead spiritually. Isn't it interesting? The living room, a place where living is supposed to happen, they were now looking like they died. They didn't really die in the vision, but they were asleep. They were dead now. So it's very symbolic why God chose the living room for this to happen in this vision, to give an understanding they were not alive. Their home was dead. The rock was set up in their living room, and now the home died. Okay? As they were collapsed on the couch in the living room, the music kept playing. The rock didn't stop. This false idol didn't stop playing. It just kept going. The scene changed to where now I see an alarm clock just going off. You know those old alarm clocks with a bell in the middle, and it's just like just rings really loud. It was just doing this, shaking in front of me in the vision. Okay, it was going off really loud. I see then the man and the daughter wake up to the whole home destroyed. The daughter and the man, they pop up and they wake up, and I see the whole home destroyed. There was gaping holes in the home. I could see out the sun. I could see out of their home when the sunlight was shining in. I saw every part of their home just decimated. But they were still kept. Understand what I'm saying. They were still kept. This is the mercy of God. You're about to hear it. So then what happens is they wake up and they see their whole home destroyed. I said chunks of their home are missing. I said gaping holes to the outside of their home are there. I said, I see the sun shining into their living room. Keyword in the living room. I see the sun shining into their living room. I then see this man and daughter. Instantly, the man and daughter are on their knees praying. They're on their knees, just they're in that fervent, prayer, giving all they got. I then see the hand of God, big and white. The hand of God was massive, and it was just luminescent and complete white. The essence of God, him. And his hand reaches down to them and then carries them out of the home into heaven. Simply, just like that. They repented. They repented. And I saw the hand of God come through that hole, carry them in his one hand, and they were taken to heaven. I then saw them in heaven celebrating. They were in heaven now. They were good. They were fine. This may have been the rapture at the end of it. I don't know. But I'm going to keep on going. When I saw them taken into home into heaven and they were happy, it was just the man and the daughter. Now remember the beginning of this vision. Who did I say was there? Who did I say was there? I said there was a man, there was a daughter, and there was a woman. The woman in the vision in the beginning of the vision where I said there was a woman and she was just gazing at it. This woman was the wife of the husband of that same home. She's the one who got in the car and brought it home. The woman did. She was so encompassed by this thing. So the woman brought it home. The man set it up in his home. That's very symbolic too. You can even look at Adam and Eve that way. Adam and Eve is the same type of correlation with this. The woman brought it, the man set it up. Okay? I asked God, what happened to the woman who first grabbed the rock and brought it home after this vision ended? And then instantly I was taken in a vision. I instantly saw her still asleep on the kitchen floor. The woman who had brought it home didn't wake up to the alarm. She didn't wake up. And I saw her in the kitchen. The kitchen was white tile, a normal kitchen, where the sink and everything, the fridge was on the right. She was still collapsed sleeping. See, what happened was that rock had put everybody to sleep. Because the man and the daughter were still in the living room, God chose to make that symbolic for his grace. The woman who was in the kitchen was still passed out, KO'd on the floor. I saw her asleep on the kitchen floor. She woke up after the man and daughter were gone. She woke up after the man and daughter were gone. I see her. I'm looking first person through her now. She wakes up and is looking. She's looking left and right like, where's my husband? Where's my daughter? She goes into the living room and she can't find them. She cannot find her husband or her daughter anywhere. And then the vision ends.